It looks like we're live on Instagram and YouTube is catching up. It looks like we're live here now too. Guys, I bought a mini ring light, so don't worry, we're going to upgrade the lighting situation so it's a little bit better. It's been a long day here on the homestead. Man, that daylight savings time is just kicking our butts still with our little ones. So I appreciate your patience. I am aiming to go live every night for business workshops at 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. But you know how it is with little ones. And truth be told, I am a mom first. But I am building a business that I love, and I have seen six figures, like on the way to six figures in my business and beyond. It's completely scalable, which is really cool. And I want to talk with you guys about that this week and how you can, hi, mom, and how you can do that yourself, how you can turn your passion into profit, and how you can fund your farm dream truly by serving others. I like to say if you can serve in church, you can build a business. If you can volunteer to be an usher, you can certainly help other people um, solve their problems. That's what business is at the end of the day. And that's what we talked a little bit about earlier today is recognizing a problem and developing a solution. And there's so many ways that we can do that. But before we get into any of that, before we get into what does that look like, how is that packaged, what is the product, we really have to know who are you and who do you want to serve? And we tapped on this a little bit earlier this morning, but I want to cultivate that conversation with you guys. I want to kind of cultivate that um, way of thinking with you because it really changed my business when I really understood my story and why I was affecting people the way I was without knowing it. I didn't understand the impact that my story was having on people or how I could leverage that to reach more people and get more sales. And so I was serving people and enjoying serving people, but I wasn't seeing the sales that I wanted. And once I made that connection, I was like, oh, this is me. This is my story. So knowing knowing your unique story, your unique skill set, and pairing that with your passion is so important when you're cultivating an offer. I really want to learn about this, says Kim. I'm so glad you're here, Kim. And so we're also going to talk about knowing your who tonight. I'm going to keep this as brief as possible. I'm going to try and keep these around half an hour just because it's been a long day here, but also I know, like, I just want to deliver the value for you guys. I know you guys are busy people too. I don't want to keep you waiting around. So just a couple announcements before we hop into things. If you are into homesteading and you want to up-level your homestead skills this week, get that bundle, Comment Library. It looks like it's working now. So if you've been waiting to get your bundle, it looks like the links are working now. So I am seeing on my dash here that it looks like it's working. So if you want to get that bundle, my course is actually in there, and that course is what helped me understand all of this. And what we're doing this week with the Homestead Bundle helped me understand all of this, that I could share it with you guys, so that you guys can cultivate abundance in your life as well. So if you want to up level those homestead skills, definitely grab the bundle that's available. It's over 100 resources. It's only $50. It's such an incredible homeschool resource. If you're a homeschool mom like me and you're looking for activities, we're going to be delving more into that this week, but it's a really great resource. So definitely comment library to get yours. Thank you. And if you're on YouTube, the link is in the description. And so that's one of our announcements. What's the other announcement? It looks like the link is working. That's good. The rest of these workshops are literally just free. I just wanted to offer value and step into the purpose that I know God is calling me to. I know we get these signs, right? Like, this has always been my dream. I thought it would be happening maybe a little bit farther down the line, but it's happening now. So I just like a little backstory on me. I started seeing major success in my business in 2022 when I decided to invest in myself. And so just got the bundle. And so I know that by you investing your time here, by you investing in the resource of the bundle and investing in community here, like, you are going to see fruit from this, and you're going to see it affect you and your life in a positive way and affect your business in a positive way. And I know I did when I took the time to actually learn, actually put money behind what I wanted to basically see come to fruition in my life, things really started to shift for me. And so I want to encourage you, like, don't be scared to invest in yourself. Don't be scared to invest in leveling up your skills, whether it's for homesteading or for home business. It's going to yield so much fruit in your life. So if you guys have questions tonight, please do drop them in the comment section. Okay, that's been like 2 minutes of announcements. So let's just hop right into things. I did make some notes earlier. My background is in counseling. I am a counselor, no regrets about getting my degree, but I realized very quickly that the confines of four walls under green buzzing lights, working by myself most of the time, was really just not for me. And I didn't think it was an effective form of therapy for my clients either. Um, and so I really started to dream of what could this look like? What could it be? How could it be different? And I met this amazing couple who run a regenerative, I'm sorry, not a retreat center. They pair troubled youth with troubled horses, rescued horses, a rescue ranch. That's the word I wanted. And I thought that's exactly it. That's what I want to do. We're going to take counseling beyond four walls. And so that's why I started my garden. And the dream has always been to fund this big farm dream. And so I thought for a long time I was going to do that with social media, and like social media was going to pay my bills. Um, but I learned that that's a pretty hard way to go about things, and it's much better to start your own company and create your own resources, not just depend on ad money. So that is my ideal world. My ideal world is counseling beyond four walls. It's out in the flower fields, it's out on the zip line. And I want to ask you guys tonight a really important question. Okay. So I'm going to pretend that this spoon that I had a bite of ice cream off of is the magic wand. All right. Join me. Join me. This is our magic wand for the evening. And if you wave your magic wand, maybe you also had a bite of ice cream, or we could pick some of these flowers that my daughter and my mom got for me. Maybe you have some flowers laying around. We can call this our magic wand. Okay. If you wave your magic wand, what does your ideal world look like? And I would love to hear from you guys in the comments if you don't mind sharing, because community stirs thought, it stirs courage to share. So please do share with us what that looks like. For me, that looks like taking counseling beyond four walls, raising my children in connection with nature, homesteading and feeling connected to nature myself, and having a business that is highly profitable to fund that farm dream and ultimately launch leaders into. Oh, thank you so much. Bought a badge. That's really cool. I don't know what that means just yet, but thank you. Launch leaders into their passion and purpose. And so big farm dreams like that need big funding, and that's what I've been figuring out the last couple years. And now I'm reminded the magic mirror. Um, so wave those magic wands, and I would love to hear from you. Like, what does life look like? Are you working the 9 to 5 grind right now? Like, do you enjoy that, or would you prefer to see sales while you sleep from your own company? And that's what I'm kind of telling the story of on TikTok and in Reels this week, is like these 10K paydays. When I started to see 10K paydays in my business, I was like, why aren't we all doing this? Like, seriously, why aren't we all doing this? And I think a lot of us are just scared. And the thing that I want to talk to you guys about tonight is, I'm not hearing a lot from you guys as far as your ideal world yet, and that's totally fine. So we're going to kind of hop into this next thing of let's let's wave our magic wand. Oh yeah. So let's do this instead. Okay. So instead of letting potentially any of those kind of pain points bubble up, and instead of letting imposter syndrome set in, like I could never do that, right? I mean, I would love to hear from you. Do you guys run your own business right now? Have you always wanted to run your own business or start your own company? And if so, like, what are the thoughts that you hear in your head as you think about that, or as you're starting that journey? What are the thoughts going through your mind right now? Like, for me, for a long time, I thought I didn't have anything to offer. And then I felt like, well, who would listen to me? And then I felt like, well, there's no way that I could really teach anybody. That's like imposter syndrome, right? And I was scared. I was like, "What is that?" It's my cat. I was scared, right? Like, so easily we have these big dreams and we're scared. A lot of you guys know here, my story is that I used to cry myself to sleep. under the covers. I actually still have the blanket that I used to cry under. It's like this reminder of like, don't go back to that place. But I used to cry myself to sleep watching farming videos, feeling like my dream was too expensive, believing that it wasn't possible. And so um, it wasn't until I chose to do something about it and turn my waiting room into a classroom, as so many people here love to say. I like to say, bloom where I'm planted, until I chose to really take action where I was and prove to myself, to God, to the universe, to my family that I was serious about this. It wasn't, it I had to take that first step. I had to step out of fear and say, you know what, I'm just going to do this. I'm just going to believe, even if it's just a garden apartment patio. And so, yeah, I see some comments rolling through here of like imposter syndrome for sure. My world looks like an animal rescue and gardening. I love that. Passive income. Ooh, we're totally talking about that this week. So excellent. Um, yeah, so there I was miserable at my 9 to 5. And I was like, all right, I'm going to start a garden. I'm going to believe in this dream and I'm going to believe that I'm going to figure it out. And for whatever reason, you guys, I told myself I'm not allowed to quit for 5 years. And literally this summer marks 5 years. um, 5 years of being at this. And so I'm so glad that I didn't quit. I'm so glad that I kept that promise to myself. And so I wonder what kind of promise you could make to yourself. How could you kind of help yourself get over these pain points? Imposter syndrome. Nobody wants to learn from me. Scared to share. What if I fail? I want to package those into a little package, and we're going to do a thing that we do in counseling called suspending disbelief. So I want you to imagine that it's going into a little package. I'm picturing one of those little to-go boxes that you get from like a restaurant, those little paper to-go boxes. We're just going to open it up. We're going to package all of those like negative beliefs, all of that unbelief in there. Okay. And then we're going to package it up and we're just going to hang it up just for the week. Okay. Just for the week, even just for tonight, just hang it up on the wall. We don't have to go there tonight. We're going to suspend disbelief because I'm telling you guys, if I can see 10K paydays and beyond that in my business, and I'm really just starting off, like 2022 is the first year that I really applied myself and like really invested in myself and took stuff to the next level. You can see that too. So, good news for you here. Oh no. Oh, I'm sorry. It looks like we lost sound for a second on YouTube, but we're back. Oh, some comments are rolling in here. I would love to start a small school like homeschooling, but 10 to 15 kids of varying ages, gardening, life skills. I love that. I love that. And that is totally, totally possible. You could totally do that. So let's talk about knowing you. All right. We've been here 10 minutes so far, and I promise you I'd keep this short. So, knowing you. All right. Let's wave that magic wand. What are you passionate about? What does your ideal world look like? Just start naming some stuff off, guys. Your comment is going to help somebody else's thought process and give them courage to participate too. So roll it off. Things I'm passionate about. I love real bread. I love real food. I love gardening. What are other things? I'm passionate about leadership development. I'm passionate about business development. What else? I'm passionate about making money online. I'm passionate about passive income. Oh my goodness, I'm so passionate about passive income. I want passive income for everybody, for everybody. I will never forget uh, literally the first month that I hit 10K in my business. We were watching the sales roll in and they were coming in so fast that I didn't know what to do with myself. I was like, Tommy, another sale. Tommy, another sale. I'd be in my sleep. I'd wake up to Shopify notifications, another sale. And I was like, I think we're going to hit 10K like this week, like within the week. And I literally was just at my phone. I was like, oh my gosh, we're doing this. And I was taking screenshots. And so you'll see those in some of my content because I happen to take screenshots as it rolled through. And man, I was like, gosh, if I can do this and turn my passion into profit, anybody can do this. And that's a big part of what the Homestead bundle is. Like you're seeing a lot of creators like me who are in the homesteading world sharing about this bundle. I mean, the bundle is essentially a digital resource, it's a digital product. We all decided to put our products in it and combine it to really offer that value. And when you put that together in a package that makes sense for your ideal customer, knowing your who, which we're going to talk about a little bit too, um, It's like a no-brainer purchase. And that's what happened for me when I knew myself. I was like, "I am so passionate about urban homesteading and making compost and, like, breaking free of the systems and not having to be dependent on outside sources for compost." And when I started sharing that story of, like, how easy it really can be to make compost and sharing it in a way that was unique to me, right? It started to really shift things in my business. And that's another thing. We talked about this a little bit earlier today is like your unique story and your unique take on things is so important. Please don't try to be like anybody else. If you go and try and copy somebody's offer, it's not going to work. It's got to be you, babe. It's got to be you because if you try and copy somebody else's offer, it's not it just doesn't work like that. You have to know you and you have to know who you're serving. So, knowing you're you, asking yourself some questions like this. Know what you're passionate about. And here's the real important thing that I hope you guys get from tonight's live is what transformation can you offer somebody else that you have experienced yourself? And we can look at what I'm doing this week as an example of that. Oops, sorry, battery's getting low. Um, So I have learned how to do business online, how to make money online, and how to do that passively so that I can be with my babies making money and funding this farm dream. And so now I'm sharing that with you guys, right? So I was point A. I used to cry myself to sleep, feeling like it was never possible. Then I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. And then I was really sick. And then we moved. And then Tommy was really sick. And we had a lot of things that really chipped away at me and weighed me down. And I just kind of kept showing up as I could, when I could, trying to stay that positive person. And then finally, come 2022, I was like, okay, I'm going to do this. I'm going to invest in myself. Like, obviously, doing it alone and trying to figure this out has not been working for me. I have to invest in myself. And boom, I grew so much. You guys, I literally sextupled my following online, my income, like everything went up when I decided to invest in myself. And so that's why I'm so proud of you guys for investing in yourselves and being here tonight. So, knowing your you and knowing what transformation could you offer somebody else. And so, you don't have to share if you don't want to share, but what is something that you didn't know that now you know? I didn't know how to compost, now I do. I didn't know how to make money online, now I do. That gap is your offer gap. That's what you're going to be able to offer people. You're going to be able to say, I know what it's like to be here, but boom, 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 I did this and now I'm here. And by the way, here's this beautiful little package. It could be a physical product, it could be a digital product. We're going to talk more about products later this week. But when you know how to package that, you can sell it. And you can sell it in the form of this is, I mean, my story is really simple. I created a freebie, which is a great way to test your ideas and test your offer and test your messaging. I turned it into an ebook, which literally made me like $2,000 in sales the first week or month I listed it. I have to go back and look. The first month I had it on my own site where I wasn't using like Etsy or Amazon or anything like that. Um, I'll never forget seeing those sales roll through. I was like, this is crazy. But the value was there for people because I knew me. I knew what I was passionate about. I knew the problem that they had, and I knew how to help them get on the other side. And so that's what you're seeing creators in the bundle do too, right? So they've offered their knowledge in a digital package. We have all sorts of friends here online joining us, like Jen from Farm Fresh Family. I love her Raising Dairy Cattle book. It is so good. I actually have it printed off right here. And this is honestly part of my dreaming and my vision board. And we're going to get to this actually on the final day of workshops. We're going to be talking about dreaming and setting those intentions. But my dream is to have a dairy cow, you guys. And so what am I doing? I'm learning from another creator who didn't know how to do dairy cattle. Now she does. And she's going to help me basically prepare my heart and mind to have a dairy cow one day. I already know what I'm going to name my cow. Her name's going to be Bethel. I don't know why. It's just always been her name in my head. Um, so, excuse me, I've got some allergies. Oh, it's totally worth it to have these flowers here, even if it does make me sneeze. Excuse me. So, okay, I'm seeing some things roll through here that I think could be really helpful. So I'm going to take a minute and get caught up on comments. Okay. How does the bundle differ from the Homestead of America bundle that you were a part of? Homesteaders of America bundle, I'm not sure what that is. I spoke at the Homesteaders of America conference, and I did a bundle last year, but this bundle has a lot of different resources in it. I would love to start a small school. Oh, we talked about that. I want to figure out how to have a successful farm business, but I don't know how to get there. Okay. Hello. I'm a nurse, close to retirement, so too late to buy the big farm I grow in backyard, but I thought about teaching children about gardening. So many ideas for you there, Rita. Um, it really doesn't matter, and again, I say this with all the love in my heart. It really doesn't matter where you are in your journey. Don't limit yourself. It doesn't matter if you're close to retirement age. You could be closing six figures a month if you want to. Like the sky is the limit with the internet. Things can get kind of weird on the internet, but we still live in a world where the internet is like the wild west. Like you can make a lot of money online. And so I just want to call you higher a little bit here, friends. Like, please don't put yourself in a box. Even if you're close to retirement age, you can totally figure this out. And it's the cool thing that I love about passive income and digital resources is it's so scalable. It's so scalable. Um, yeah, great information from Whispering Willow on small scale farming. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, shout out to Jill. She's actually going to be one of our guest speakers this week. So if you guys want to learn more about small scale farming, tune into that live. You can get all the details on the site. You can just comment workshop and I'll send you a link to see all of that. All right, so let's get caught up in some comments. Hi, friend. What's up, Jen? My world looks like animal rescue and gardening. I love that. 9 to 5 have always been scared to take the financial risk. Okay, let's talk about that. So, scared to take the financial risk of starting your own company, of starting your own business. The cool thing is, and this is what I did, is I was still working my 9 to 5, but I started making YouTube content and I started putting together resources for people. And then I took a course about creating a blog and I learned about the value of collecting emails and email marketing and offering something in exchange for that. And so, you might be working your 9 to 5. Maybe a lot of you here still have that 9 to 5 grind. I've definitely been there myself. And I want to encourage you. You could do something with that still in your life. Yes, you might have to spend an extra 30 minutes, an hour each night, kind of cultivating that space. Maybe you have an agreement with your partner or your spouse. I know my husband and I certainly do. We literally create work blocks for me so that I can do what I need to do. And Ruby, my daughter, gets the attention and love that she needs from the people in our lives that can support her. And then I get to go back to being a mom. So my mom literally comes down and offers 1 day a week. She helps us with laundry. So, like, I just want to help you. Again, we're kind of getting into the nitty gritty here of like mindset stuff, but this is day one. This is foundations. And so I'm so glad that you guys are willing to kind of say where you're at because it's so important to say that and to call it out so that we can be like, it's still possible. It's still possible even with the 9 to 5. It's still possible even if you're close to retirement. I have ideas, but I don't know where to start, and that paralyzes me with imposter syndrome. I know. You got to pick one and you got to do it. You got to pick one and you got to do it. So think about you and your journey and where could you take people? What lights you up to think about it? Like I really love composting and so I spent a lot of time teaching people about composting. Um, there are other people in this app and in the bundle who really love sourdough bread or who really love fermenting. Are those things that interest me as well? Yeah, but my unique story is that I killed my first garden and brought it back to life with worm farming. And so for me, a natural product and a natural conversation is this worm farming stuff and this composting conversation. And so I'm not going to go and learn this new skill of fermenting when it's not super connected to my story. Um, Becoming a composting pro is really connected to my story. And so being able to offer people that is just like a natural byproduct. So, what have you gone through in your life? What is your point A to point B? And just pick something. Okay. It doesn't have to be like the perfect end all offer. There have been so many times where I started something and realized it didn't feel right. It wasn't in alignment with me and I didn't get the results I wanted. Okay. Next thing. That's totally fine. But pick something rather than just staying stuck in paralyzation mode. Okay. Still working 9 to 5 to fund my side business and hobbies, but prayerful that my part-time work and hobby transitions to my full-time career. Oh, hey, Kimberly. Yeah. I'm trying to think about your question here. Prayerful that my part-time work and hobbies transitions to my full-time career. Well, I know that you're putting in the work and talk about somebody who is working on the side while they're still doing the 9 to 5. I know that you're doing it. I know it's going to yield fruit and abundance in your life. Native plants and conversation, things that I'm passionate about. I love it. I want to bring the joy of homesteading to others by teaching and encouraging them through farm school. Love real sourdough, love gardening, love uplifting others. Imposter syndrome for sure. What's up, Rachel? So glad you're here. So glad that you're saying this. Thank you for being bold and courageous to share. So, all of these things, like I can literally see this for you. I really can. I really can see this for you. And I think you just have to pick something. The thing that's really standing out to me in your comment is farm school. I think that is a really unique opportunity. There's probably a really unique group there that's underserved. So that would be my feedback to you, even though you didn't ask for it. But I do pray for all of you guys before these lives. And I just really feel like God is highlighting that word to me. So I feel like start with farm school and see where it takes you. How could you help people? What was it like for you before you farm school? What is it like now? And how could you help people achieve that transformation? That's what I would really start thinking about. I'm passionate about customer service. Wow. Well, that makes one of us. No, I'm just kidding. That's great. Home birth, homeschool, natural health. Oh, awesome. Awesome. And so, yeah, I love that. Passionate about teaching gardening with an emphasis on community and support. Gardening and teaching others, always trying new things. We only live once. I love it. I love it. Teaching people how to cook, urban organic garden, and food preservation. Okay, so we're seeing some themes, right? Now, I don't know each and every single one of your stories. I recognize a lot of your names, a lot of your faces here, but let's talk about cultivating that abundance mindset. So, a lot of people are chiming in some similar stuff. Um, and it's very tempting to feel like, oh, that market is saturated. Oh, I could never do that because so and so is already doing that. Or the opposite of that, which is so and so is already doing that, so I need to do it like so and so. Don't go either one of those. That's why knowing your story and knowing your unique skill set is so important because that's how you're going to bypass, falling into this smaller way of thinking when you cultivate an offer that's about you and your story and serve that to a unique audience that you love and care about, uh, there's no competition. You blow the competition out of the water because you've created now your own marketplace. You've created now the ability, as financial people might say, to take up the entire market share there. So please don't put yourself in a box, okay? Even if there's overlap here in some of the answers, it's a great opportunity to talk about cultivating that abundance mindset. So, knowing we're capable of providing for ourselves in a natural and healthy way. I love it. So, let's talk a little bit about refining our statements too. Like, what does that look like? What does that look like? So, we're capable of providing for ourselves in a natural and healthy way. Are you talking about herbalism? Are you talking about like growing your own medicine? Are you talking about homeopathic medicine cabinets? Are you talking about prepping? And so, this is another exercise that you can do as you're thinking about these things of really refining and getting very specific. And that's another thing that's going to actually cultivate abundance. And we talked about this on the live earlier too, a little bit. Is just like in the garden, when you prune something, you're actually helping it yield more fruit later. It's uncomfortable. It hurts in the beginning. You don't want to do it. Beginner gardeners are terrified of it. I know I certainly was. I was like, I can't cut this because it's gonna, it's gonna stunt it. And the opposite is true. And so I love a lot of these answers and certainly not like blaming or shaming anybody here for like not having lack or for having lack of clarity or being vague or whatever. Like I love that you're taking a step and saying that. And this is such a great opportunity to learn together of like, oh, okay. So what does that mean? What does that look like for you? Like, let's get more specific here. And so I hope that's an invitation to conversation of like, how could we go deeper with this? How could we get more specific and actually level up our ability to make income and market those offers? God is the rewarders of those who diligently seek him. Congratulations, Natalie. So happy for you. Thank you, Donna. Can't wait. You're going to rock being a milkmaid. Thank you. Haha, love it. Great name. I didn't know that I could homeschool with 5 kids with ADHD, but it's been a blast, and I know my kids so well now. Oh my gosh, I love that so much. So, what a unique situation, right? But a lot of us have ADHD. Sometimes I wonder if I have ADHD. And so, this is such a great statement of like a point A to point B, right? So she didn't know that she could homeschool with 5 kids. She really doubted herself. And this is some of those pain points. So at some point this week, we're going to talk about kind of creating your virtual sales letter or, what is your promise? And that is the promise that you're making the person on the other side. And so we're going to make that transformation statement. It's like homeschool, homeschool all 5 of your kids or more even if you have ADHD without the overwhelm. Like that's like a hook, right? That's what we would see at the top of like a landing page, or that's kind of like the claim that all of your content and all of your stuff is going to hang on. And so those next pain points would be, I was so scared. I really doubted myself. I didn't want to let my kids down. I wondered if I could keep up with their homework, like whatever those pain points are for you having ADHD and 5 kids and homeschooling. Um, and then also knowing what are those pain points for your ideal client and kind of where that matchup is, that's what we want to put um, in our messaging around our offer, which we'll get to later this week. Hello, joining just a little bit late, but glad to be here. Supporting others to achieve their goals is part of my mission. Not everyone should give up their day job, so helping people garden where they are at is part of my mission. Yeah, I totally agree. Like, not everybody is called to give up their day job, but I kind of am secretly kind of secretly on a mission to help a lot of people quit their 9 to 5s, that exit the matrix. But I definitely hear you. My issue seems to be packaging up my thoughts and my offer and market effectively. Yeah, that is a really tricky thing. And one of my favorite quotes that I've learned in my educational investment in myself journey is let, um, oh, I don't want to butcher it, let the marketing determine the architecture of your offer. And so when you know you and you know you're who, I feel like I'm beating a dead horse, guys. Forgive me, but I feel like I keep saying the same things. But I know different people are kind of rolling. It's kind of a revolving door here online. So I'll just kind of keep saying it. And if it's repeat, well, then it means that you're learning it, learning it extra. But when you know you, right? You know the promise that you can make people, like we were talking of, even around all of that, so that you're not making your offer hoping it sells. That's actually a myth. A lot of people say, "Oh, well, I really love soap." I have a reel coming out about this tomorrow. I really love soap, so I'm going to make soap and hope that it sells. But a lot of people sell soap. So, what makes your soap special? What makes and that's where the marketing comes in. And so when you can say, well, I make a soap that is specific for people who struggle with eczema and hair loss, or I make a soap that specifically helps people with dry skin feel more confident. Like, what is that thing that you know about that you can offer people? And that's like reverse engineering the solution, right? Through the marketing lens. It's like I know people are struggling with this, and I'm going to make this, and this is the messaging around it. And that's why tonight is so important. Is like consider the transformation that you can offer other people, because people don't buy products, they buy transformations. They buy transformations. And so I'm going to keep saying it. What is the transformation that you can offer people? Who are you and who do you want to serve? Where is point A? Where is point B? And how can you help them cross the street? My issue seems to be packaging up my thoughts and market effectively. And so that's what I would encourage you to do. Even if you have an offer already, like go back to the drawing board and you can redesign your marketing. Like, and I had to do this a little bit with my course, even though I accidentally did it right, simply because I was making the course and talking with you guys while I was doing it. See, I was in your head when I was making the course. That's why we included lots of stuff for homeschool moms. That's why I included short format lessons and long format lessons. And so you can see the architecture of my offer actually hits on the desires and pain points of my people. My people wanted things that they could do with their kids. They wanted ways that they could turn it into homeschool credits. And they needed ways that they could listen easily and quickly with their kids, but also in like longer format for when they're driving or washing the dishes. And so these little ways of like repackaging our offer can actually help you market it more effectively. So let the marketing determine the architecture, and this foundation of knowing you and knowing your who is the foundation of that. So my hurdle is self-doubt, not believing that I have anything worthy to say or anything that people would find helpful and need in their life. Remember what we're doing tonight, friends. We are packaging it in the little to-go box. We're suspending disbelief. We are hanging it on the wall this week for these next 10 days. Disbelief be gone in the name of the Lord, okay? You have a passion and a purpose, and you're here for a reason. And so I hear you. I know that you're there. I get it. And I feel for you because I've been there too. But please know, like, do the work of discovering who you are, what you're passionate about, and who you could help, because you have something in there. You are here for a reason. And I truly, this morning, you guys, like, I almost cried on the live earlier because I really did not expect the Holy Spirit to like hit me so hard. And if you don't know that about me, I am a believer. Of course, you're welcome here no matter what faith you have. But my faith definitely determines a lot of how I see things and how I process things. And so I was on the live earlier, and I literally just saw chains breaking off of people. I saw generational curses and trauma just breaking off people. And so I pray that over you. And in fact, I wish we had prayed at the beginning of this live, but Lord, I just pray that everybody who sees this live, catching it on the replay or live with me now, that the generational curses, that the lies are broken off of them this week in the name of Jesus, and that they can join me in packaging it up and just hanging that disbelief on the wall. In fact, just casting it into the ocean because it really doesn't have a place here anymore. You guys found this video for a reason. You guys found this page for a reason, and I hope that if you're gaining encouragement here, like, share it with your friends, because I'm on a mission. We're going to help people become business owners and develop passive income to fund big farm dreams, okay? We got lots of people who have amazing visions for farming, but they need a way to get there. And so I want to be rooting for you in that. So don't let anything hold you back. I'm believing in breaking that off, this breaking off those curses this week with you. Okay, this is another great problem to have. Thank you guys for being so vulnerable and showing up in chat. So my other hurdle is picking just one because my entire farming life lights me up. Well, first of all, that's amazing. What a gift. What a nice problem to have. But secondly, you got to pick one. And you gotta pick one transformation. You gotta pick a couple pain points, and you gotta talk about those things and help people cross the street with just one. I knew that as I was developing my entire content strategy around like worm farming, I was like, okay, I think we're building an empire in the backs of worms. In fact, that's what I used to tell my husband, like, we're building an empire in the backs of worms. I was like, yes, we're doing it. We're doing this thing that I love. But I always knew that it was a training ground for future stuff. So right now we're in the process of up leveling our business. We're in a big pivot. We're not just talking about composting anymore, but I'm helping other people with their businesses. So it's like, yeah, up level your homestead skills, but up level your business. Like, I'm here for you in both. And so I had to pick just one. In fact, it was my friend's husband, Nate of Whispering Willow. He's like, she's just kind of talk about worm farming. She just won't shut up about it. She loves it. Like, that's what her business needs to be. And I was like, you know what? Like, Nate dog, you right. You right. I need to do that. And so my challenge to you is niche down. And I know everybody is talking about that. You know, here on the internet all the time. Niche down, niche down, niche down. Like, God, I want to vomit hearing that one more time. But pick one thing and get really good at doing all of the things that you have to do to sell stuff online and to help people and to serve people online, because then that's going to translate into other stuff. So try not to have ADD. If our friend here with 5 kids can homeschool her kids, like, you can do this too. All right, sorry, YouTube. Let's see what else is going on here. My husband 3D prints and I like to craft. We are hoping to do something with that. Awesome. Okay, let's talk about that for a second. So that's a physical product. That's a physical product business, which is awesome. But what could we do to uplevel your business? All right. So I don't know anything about 3D printing. Let's say I was interested in that, which I actually kind of am. Do you have a freebie available on your site? Like, could you offer me a freebie and then I'll give you my email to get that freebie, and now we're connected, and now you can email market me when you have a new offer. Like, that is the value of having a freebie right there. So, my personal belief system is that every well-rounded business has physical products as well as digital products. Um, I think, I think really to be as passive and as quick and efficient about making sales, digital products are king. But if you are a product-based company, consider adding digital products to your line because it's going to help you develop that connection with your customer. It's going to help you refine your messaging as people resonate or don't resonate with what you're putting out there. And it's going to help you get those emails so that you can market to them those other offers the next time you come out with a shirt, the next time you come out with a craft. And so, yeah, consider making a freebie. That would be my encouragement to you. I appreciate your prayers in the name of Jesus. Amen. Yes, I've tried a few ideas, but we have not been successful with them. And now I'm discouraged and doubtful. I totally get that. I'm really glad that you're here because I really want to equip you with the tools that you need to be successful. Um, all right, let's keep going here. Microgreens for people who are physically challenged, regardless of ability to stand in a wheelchair, have an income while helping my family. That's very specific. So, this is where specificity is so helpful. So, Donna writes, and I know, Donna, I know your story, and this really touches my heart to read this. Microgreens for people who are physically challenged, regardless of ability to stand or in a wheelchair, have an income while helping my family. Wow. So, I'm just seeing right now, like, imagine an entire line of physical products, right? So you've got the racks, and I've never even considered this, but you have to be able bodied to get to the top racks. You have to be kind of physically agile to like reach in and reach out. What if there could be a line of grow trays and grow racks that were specifically designed in width and height so that you could fit a wheelchair through there? Now, here's part of the trouble that many of us beginner business owners face is how do we come up with the capital for that? Well, that's where I think digital products are really important and really helpful. So, what kind of digital product could you offer related to microgreens? So, you could essentially create your own setup and show people online and with a freebie how you made that setup so that it's appropriate for your son or whoever it may be that is in the wheelchair. Um, and set I mean, I know other parts of your story, so I'm thinking of your kids a little bit too, but um, like I get this question too of like what businesses are friendly out there for people with disabilities. Um, Create a freebie and then turn that into an ebook. And you can put that on your own store, but like a Shopify store, which you can get started with for $1, and send traffic to that with free traffic from your social media. So you can actually use your social media as a funnel. And when you know you and you know your who, you can talk to that other person on the other side of the screen and say, hey, I know what it's like to really want to have microgreens available for my health, for my community, but I know I'm also in a wheelchair. I know I also have these like physical um, issues, and I decided to do things differently. I decided to um, set up the grow room differently, and I want to show you how I did that. And you can create an entire content series around like how you are doing things differently and providing that education and those ideas to people. You know, we sell, for example, we sell plans for building garden beds, plans for building a greenhouse on wheels. Um, those are all things that's like, hey, we discovered this way to do this. Like, we discovered a way to make beds for really cheap. Here's how. Buy the plans. They're $10 on my site or $15 on my site or whatever it is. And so, yeah, that's just my idea for you. So then you can leverage the capital that you get from that and potentially fund the physical product side of this business and um, make what was the right word? All abilities friendly, right? All abilities friendly grow racks. Or you could even tailor that. You know, you could say, whatever it is, insert that thing that the person is dealing with and say, it's this friendly, it's autism friendly, it's ADHD friendly, or whatever it is. So that's, I don't know, that's an idea for you. I really love I love how specific this was, and I love that you were willing to be vulnerable and share that, um, because it's actually a really beautiful picture of, like, business is still possible, and, yeah, anyway, thank you for sharing that. The only thing I can think of that lights a fire is encouraging intimacy with God, but not wanting to make that product. My next idea was breaking down big goals, goal setting. Oh man, I relate to this so much. So you sound like a really tender-hearted person, but somebody who is also very practical. I relate to that a lot myself. And it can be really hard to honor the nurturing side of us. But I want to encourage you that if that lights a fire in you, that it's your soul, your spirit knocking at your door saying, "Hey, there's something here and you should listen to it." And so while I know that something is very as practical as breaking down big goals or helping people set goals is very practical and easy to understand and easy to talk about and not super vulnerable. There's something happening for you with the intimacy with God stuff. And I really would encourage you to listen to that. Okay. Getting got up. Oh, cool. I love that. I might have a resource to share with you, Donna. Very cool. Very cool. Um, so we're at 54. I promise to keep this short. We've gone about 15 minutes over what I thought we would do. So I'm going to wrap it up. Is that I do need to send out the email blast here to everybody who's catching this on the replay. But I'm believing in so much abundance for you. Your homework, okay, for you action takers out there, your homework is to write down four things. What is it? Three things. Who are you? Who do you want to serve? What is the transformation story that you have experienced in your life from point A to point B that you could offer to somebody else? And how could you do that? Do you want to do that in the form of an ebook, a freebie, a course, or is there a physical product that needs to be developed to support this conversation? So that's your homework. Come back tomorrow. We've got more in store. I hope this was helpful to you. If you need help with anything in particular, if this was not helpful or it could be more helpful somehow, let me know. There's so many things to talk about here and just so little time, but I really want to pack that value in for you guys. So I hope you guys got that value. And if you did, share it with a friend. We're doing all kinds of giveaways this week. Tomorrow, we've got Erica from Instar Gardens on the show. So if you're into gardening and you want to know how you can turn your passion into profit, tune in tomorrow. We can pick Erica's brain about how she's done it, learn more from her. And thank you so much for joining me, everybody, on YouTube and on Instagram. I'm hoping I can even figure out the TikTok thing. We'll see. I don't know how to do the TikTok live thing very well just yet, but so glad that you guys are here. Super excited to be helping you turn your passion into profit. I know it's possible. And I know that if you found this page, you are here for a reason. And I know that you have a purpose and a destiny and a calling on your life. And I'm believing in that coming to full fruition for you. So thanks for hanging out, and I will catch you guys tomorrow.